Hello and welcome. I'm Romek. If you don't know me, I'm an illustrator who likes to paint horror and fantasy creatures. Like this one in the background. In this video I'm gonna show you like every single detail, tips and tricks all around my technique how to paint my creatures like I do. So thank you, and I guess that's enough talking. Let's get you right into the video. How to make its transition? Right, like this. Welcome back. Let me show you how I plan most of my paintings inside my head. You need nothing to write down, it's pretty simple. And I'm gonna show you the steps, or like the phases, how I start every single painting, starting with phase 0, the idea. After the idea, we get into the sketches with phase 1. Phase 2 is going to be the line work. Phase 3, masking and texture bashing, what's kinda important. Then phase 4, the longest and tedious part of all paintings, is the overpainting part, and it will take a lot of time. At phase 5, we make some details and adjustments, and at phase 6, we polish it and bring it to like this sharp and crisp look. So, how was my thinking behind this design? Quite easy. I played with my good buddies some Hunt Shoulder for the first time, and I knew how awesome the monster designs are, but the gameplay almost as great as the creatures. But I wanted a boss monster that maybe gets more aggressive if you damage it with dynamite or explosive stuff or even random shots. And also I had the random idea to grab the player and choking them, so I had my brain fixed on words like grabbing and choking. So I needed arms to grab and choke someone, also a feature that makes him more dangerous after explosion or something else. I figured out chains would be a good solution to slow him down, and if you throw dynamite at him, they break and he gets more aggressive and more dangerous. I got all that thinking while sketching at the same time. You can also have ideas before sketching, just remember to remember them. So if you struggle to get some ideas while sketching or even before that, by the way, I also have this problem. I guess everyone has a problem with getting ideas out of nowhere. I think you know all the big art socials, right? So this is how I use them, very simple. ArtStation. It's great to see behind the scenes how the creatures and final works are made. From sketches to thumbnails, there are a lot of knowledge to find from the pros. Pinterest. Random ideas, textures, poses, all you want. By the way, Pinterest, can you please make a dark mode? My eyes are always burning. Always burning. Twitter. Also ideas, maybe artworks that are earlier on Twitter than ArtStation? Question mark. Instagram, yeah. I liked it, I used it for a good amount of time before Twitter, but it sucks with all the ads. It was great 4 years ago, but now it's awful. And there's also DeviantArt. I used it, and then I didn't. So, sketching, for me the most fun part, and I think for many artists too. Let's talk about sketching. There are some ways to sketch, from black to white or with big shapes, but I got one way that I like the most. What I use the most is line sketching. In my sketchbooks I always use ballpoint pens for the past 9 years or so. My sketching is like sketching on a simple piece of paper. Nothing fancy, just like the good old days. In Photoshop I use a simple round brush with opacity pressure and also form pressure to get that ballpoint pen feeling. Right now you see me just doodling around to get like the human body and shape and a posture that I like, and also thinking about what I talked about, the grabbing and choking part, so I needed hands. You can already use messy sketches to get some random cool shapes. Like this, I just doodled the shape and did nothing more. It's messy, but it works to get the sweet random shapes. Line work. I do this to get the final lines and a solid base for the next stages of my painting. You don't need to sketch down shadows, but it always helps a bit more. If your sketches are clean from the beginning, you can skip to the next phase. You see me more thinking about the general shape of the muscles, the folding in the skin, and also I work more in a detailed way to get the solid base for the meat, the muscles, and everything else in the next phases. Sometimes I just leave painting at this phase and start a new one. Line work paintings like this one, or this, or even a bunch of them. This is a very boring first part, and after that a very fun part. I hate masking all my line works, but it will help in the long run and will make everything after that a fucking cakewalk. Use always the mask tool, it's the best shit. Don't try to erase on layers where you think that maybe it will damage it, just mask over it and duplicate it. After you mask everything, you can just clip layers onto each other by pressing the Alt key in between two layers. I always make loose shadings of my creatures, so I can see how the textures are working in shadow and the light areas. Speaking of textures, I love to use raw chicken or beef. You get your glossiness and also the meat texture you need for your creatures and demonic beings. Bonus, it comes sometimes with shapes and shadows that can help make your painting look good or just something that you never think about. Always use the modifier layer in Photoshop. I love to use soft light or overlay. Multiply can also help. Play around, sometimes you can shift the colors or even brush or erase something, they are just textures. At the end, now I will see the textures because we are heading to overpainting. I think this word is used a lot because this will be the next 2 to 20 hours of your painting. Take your time, tell everyone to fuck off for the next 2 or 3 hours and listen to a podcast to escape the crushing and crippling loneliness. I can recommend Please Stop Talking, Sleepycast or Distractable. And always take breaks. Don't do 6 hours straight of overpainting without taking every 2 or 3 hours a 20-minute break. What brush should I use? I asked it myself, you asking yourself what brush is perfect for you. I found this one for me, it has a sharp and soft side at the same time, and the best bonus about this brush is you will start flipping the canvas a lot of times. And this is very good. It will always refresh the view of your painting and you see more and more areas that can be improved and worked on. Now you can see masking and texturing gave me a lot of colors and freedom. Do not care if I'm brushing over the shape on the background or somewhere else. This takes about 70% of my 20-hour painting. Stay strong, take breaks, get some coffee. Don't overdo it, or what this means, don't fuck yourself over. Trust me, I have many unfinished works and I will never finish them because I hate them. How do I overpaint? It's quite difficult to explain for me. I'm not a teacher and not even close to one. There are far better people that can explain you and you can watch to learn about overpainting. But what can I say? You need to practice painting something in black and white. and learn how to manage the values in the painting. If you figure that out, the overpainting part with color be almost the same. And also think about color a little bit more. I'm thinking in this painting my lighter values be a very light and soft skin color, and the darker paintings will be more of a red color. So I always have in mind how I use the colors the textures gave me at the end. So if we just use the shadows of the textures, then we always be on the right side. Most of the creature is overpainted and the fun part begins. Detailing and making it nice. Using some of the sweet adjustment layers to shift the hue, saturation or brightness. Getting a bit more blue and green in there to make it look more dead, and also using the masking tool again. The gradient maps are a great tool, turning the shadows into one color and the light areas into another. If you want to learn more, there are many great videos that will explain it better, way better than me. The details, I think they are speaking for themselves. Use the modify layer for blood and other things, like small spots where the flesh is still wet, and again, using masks to have more control over it. By the way, blood is never straight up bright red or just simply red. It can be more pink or even have a bit of yellow. Never stay in one blood color. Try some modified layers and color shifts, and again, using the masking tool to have control. You can also start not using the mask, if you want to make some loose skin hanging down or some blood dripping down. Also, you can make new elements to the painting. Like I did some sticks, and also I tried to use some barbed wire to give the creature more of that hunt showdown look. I had a problem with the barbed wire. I wanted to make spikes quickly and random and not give too much time, and I simply created a whole new brush only for the spikes. Putting down some extra shadows, making the last small elements like nails, some dirt. Getting some more details done, also painting more highlights, making it look organic and flashy. Looking if the shadows work well and are kinda realistic. With an overlay layer you can give shadows more darkness and bright areas more light. With the overlay layer you can also add some blood splatters and some veins into the creature. Giving some more love to the background is also important. At the end, using the sharpening filters and also a noise filter. Don't overdo the noise filter. I see many people just overdo it. Make it nice and simple so your details are not lost in the noise. And we are done with him. Thank you for watching, and I'm really sorry that my English sucks so bad. I noticed it while making this video. Also, if you still don't know what the actual fuck I'm talking about all the time, I stream on Twitch and you can ask me every Monday. I'll be more than happy to show you how I make some steps more in detail. I'm very bad at saying bye, so